Hi, everyone, and welcome back. If you're new, welcome. Today, I am going to do a deep dive into the Hume Body Pod, um, the metrics that showed on my Hume Body Pod, and my blood work after a 3-week road trip and putting on nearly 4,000 miles on. So we were in the car quite a bit. Hi, I'm Terri, and this is Caring for Me, where I share my real life journey of losing over 119 pounds on the glp1 medication Zepbound. I've used compounded. I've used Zepbound, the brand name. And so, yeah, if you're on a GLP-1 journey or thinking of starting one, talk to your doctor. I'm not a doctor. This is for educational purposes only and entertainment. But if you're even over 50, over 60, over 70, it's never too late to choose you and to start over. Get your health back, maybe even get some mobility back. Just feel all around better about yourself and your health. Okay, this week, when I did my weekly weigh-in, I weighed in at 168.4. When I left for my trip, I weighed in at 166.4. When I got back from my trip, I was 170.4. So, as you probably have figured out, it's a lot of water. And this morning I weighed in at 167.1. So some of it's coming off, but I can't even hardly get my rings off. And these usually, this one's okay. This one just about, I'm afraid of losing it normally. But this one usually fits pretty nicely, and I can get it off, but it's tight, which it's usually not. So I have, like I said, lost over 119 pounds. I figure that I probably still have a couple of pounds of food on me from the trip. Sorry for the glare, because I've got my laptop and my iPad and my computer here, and with the slides up so I can see it better. Okay, so I plugged all of my information into GPT, Chat GPT. And here it says that, and I figured that's what this was, but the weight was 168.4. My BMI is 28.3. Body fat, 36%. Body fat mass is about 61 pounds. Lean mass is 100 pounds, 99.7, and so that's up. So I didn't lose any muscle mass over the vacation. That was from loading and unloading all those suitcases. We stayed, like I said in my last video, we stayed at like 10 different hotels. So yeah, I loaded and unloaded that car that many times. Skeletal muscle is up at 65.3 pounds. Now the body water, hydration. It says that my body water is normal at 47.1%. Intracellular water, that's the waters that are in the cells, is 47 pounds, and that's normal. The extracellular water is 33.1 pounds, and that's high. And so then the extracellular water is the inflammation, or the retention. BMR, that's basic metabolic rate, which is what your calories in at, like, even if you were laying in bed in a coma, this is what you have to live, is or to maintain, is 1,241, which is, I think, is a little low. Metabolic age is at age 70, and I'm 60, almost 63. And but in here it says I wouldn't worry about it. Okay. What stands out the most chat said was my lean muscle mass, my skeletal muscle, and my body fat is down. Lean and skeletal's up, body fat's down. That combination is exactly what we want during a GLP-1 journey. Many people on GLP-1 lose muscle along with the fat, and I really haven't. I think, of course, that was my old scale, not my human body pod, but it said I had 103 pounds of muscle before, and now it says I have, what did I say, 99 pounds? Yep, lean tissue. Okay, so that's good. I got a score of A- on that. Body fat is still elevated, but trending down. For a woman in my age bracket, this is still elevated. I should be between 145 and 150 for my height. I'm 5'5" and a half. I used to be 5'6", but I go by 5'5" now. So it's more important that it's trending. It is. It's trending down, and I still want to lose at least another 12 pounds or 13. Okay, so it says I'm carrying at 168. I am carrying 61 pounds of fat mass and 99.7 pounds of lean tissue. If you maintain lean mass by dropping fat at 150 goal weight, you could potentially be 30 to 32% body fat, which that is a major metabolic marker. And I am trending towards an A, and I got a B+ on that. Extracellular water is the biggest clue. 33.1 pounds high. This matches what I mentioned or typed in before, is that the 3-week road trip, long sitting periods, that absolutely increases your extracellular water. And you guys know that anytime you've taken a trip or went anywhere, you swell, especially when we were heavy, because my ankles could be like this at the end of a day when we would go like to Vegas and stuff. That was terrible. It got to the point where my feet were numb. I didn't feel them from below my knee. And that wasn't good. And I did take pictures of that one time, but I don't know if I can find them back. I'd have to look back on some of my cards, because I've changed computers and stuff, so I put all my pictures on these little SD cards. I would have to go through those and plug them in and see what's on there. But by gosh, if I find one, I'll add it to this video. Okay, so prolonged sitting, it slows the flow of your lymphatic fluid and your blood. So that, and then the stress of traveling and poor sleep, and yeah, it wasn't, most of the beds, that's another thing. Most of the beds were pretty comfortable. Before, I could not hardly sleep in a motel bed. I had to have my own bed. I would have to switch like every hour. I would wake up because whatever side I was sleeping on hurt, so I would have to flip. So yeah, I slept better in the beds now without the weight. I guess it helps, but most of them were pretty comfortable. They weren't too bad. But if you get, I don't have a spring mattress anymore. I have whatever. I have an adjustable bed, and so the springs would dig into my side. It wasn't that my hip hurt from the inside, it was the other way around this time. Sodium intake, of course, you're going to have high sodiums with all the eating out and restaurant food. That's another thing, all these causes of the extracellular water. Inflammation, long drives create low-grade inflammation. And and GLP-1 plus low-calorie intake, sometimes lower protein, electrolytes, and that it's kind of hard to get all your protein in on a. I had my iced coffee, which is I mix up, and it is about 45 or 50 grams of protein. So I'd make one of those before we left the motel, and I would drink that. And then we would always eat our continental breakfast there. So we'd have eggs and whatever. I would try to go with the meat and eggs to get more protein. So it says this does not mean that you have gained any fat. Based on the trend, chat estimated that I have 3 to 7 pounds of fluid on my body, which would be great if it would all go away, because then I would be under 165. BMR appears low, it says 1241. This is common after this much of a weight gain. My metabolism is not broken, it's adapted. And the body is efficient, but this also means undereating can backfire. And yes, it can. If you're taking in, your metabolism adapts. So if you're taking in 800 calories a day, it's going to, over a year's time, you might lose some more, pounds, but it's going to try and hold on to that to make that a sufficient amount of calories to run your body in the day to keep you alive. So metabolic age is 70, and that does bother me, but I just ignore it because it says don't over-focus on this. Metabolic age is an algorithm. I can't say that word. Algorithm. Okay, algorithm. Got to remember that. Used to be one of our vice presidents, Al Gore. Rhythm. Okay, so it says it heavily is influenced by body fat, hydration, muscle, and age. As body fat drops, the ECW normalizes, then this often improves. The biggest interpretation that chat gave me was that you look like you are in a temporary inflammation, water retention phase, not a fat regain. And I knew that. I knew it was all water weight because I know what I ate. I know how much exercise I was getting. I did plan on going to the gym and swimming. I only got swimming once. Most of the ones were outdoors, and it was a little early. It was like in the 60s, so it was a little cold to go in there. The one we stayed at, of course, I was going to go swimming and hot tub, and it was, they were draining it. So we had one hotel in Lake Tahoe, and that had an indoor pool. So we used that. Then we went to Reno, and they had a beautiful outdoor pool, but it was so cold and windy. The girls went in, my daughter-in-laws, and the grandkids, but not me. No, I stayed out. So that is actually encouraging that this is just inflammation and water retention. And it gave me a 30-day improvement plan. So I'm going to try and implement as many of these as I can. Phase 1, flush the inflammation. Days 1 through 7, walk after every meal. Just 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. And that's 3 walks a day. And that improves glucose disposal and lymph flow. Hydration target. At 168 pounds, aim for 85 to 100 ounces of water a day. Add electrolytes. I am trying to drink more water. I bought some packets to flavor it. I'm going to try that. Maybe that'll be. I'm a coffee drinker until early afternoon. But it says add electrolytes if working out and sweating. Reduce sodium, restaurant foods, deli meats, soup, and chips. Now I looked at my, I keep my food logged in my FitnessPal, and I am always below. I don't eat a lot of salt. I don't really salt my food either, unless it's pretty bland. Then I will salt it. But it said stay away from restaurant foods and stuff, and I have been. We haven't. Well, I guess we did go up and get chicken last night at the Pizza Ranch, but I had one. And I just pulled some off and made a sandwich out of it for supper. I'm not big into that kind of chicken. And get your legs up as much as possible. It helps move the extracellular water. Okay. So in phase 2 is days 8 through 30. Build your metabolism. Protein target 100 to 120. And I usually try to get 80 to 100. But I think I'm going to add a little a shake. Maybe I'll get some of those Core Life 42s and add that to my. I have been adding a Premier Protein, a third, into my coffee in the morning. That's an extra 10. And then I take collagen powder and put in there. It's flavorless, and that's 10. So that's 20. And then I usually have a piece of toast with peanut butter on it, and that's my breakfast. And one, sometimes I'll throw in a yogurt or I'll throw in a fried egg. I fry it in, no calories added to it. When I fry it, just a little bit of spray and then a Teflon pan. So, and I don't miss the butter. I don't, but I know the spray is not that good for you. They say don't use it, but I do. It doesn't add any calories. Butter does. So yeah, I've been trying a yogurt. I did order an ice cream maker, like the Ninja Creamy, but it was a different brand. And I'm going to make some ice cream and high protein out of. I ordered some Fairlife milk on my Walmart grocery order today, and I got the chocolate and the regular low fat, and then I ordered some sugar-free puddings, and I have protein powder, vanilla bean protein powder, and yeah, I'm going to make some. I ordered, I think it came with 3 cups, and I ordered 2 extra. So I'll have 5 pints altogether, so I can make 5 different ones, and we'll do a taste test. That'll be another video. But yeah, so I'm excited about that because I could get a cup of ice cream, and the calories wouldn't be that bad, and it would be probably about 35 things of grams of protein. So I'm going to try that. And then cottage cheese. They say that cottage cheese blended in with it, purify that and then add your other things. And that helps for getting my protein up. I don't, they say this and some say that, and it's too much. And yeah, no, I think if you stay everything in moderation, why would you want to just overdo it? Because I think the protein's just, you can only absorb so much at a time at a whole meal. Like I drink iced coffee with the Premier Protein and the International coffee or whatever, and that's about 300 calories, but it is 45 to 50 grams of protein. So yeah. So most breakfasts I get about 30. Lunch is a little different, but I have a Premier Protein shake if I'm way low. And then my dinner is usually at least 30 to 40 grams of protein. So, yeah. So, and then it says strength training. So I'm going 2 to 3 times. Well, I already pretty much do twice a week. Maybe I'll add another one. Wouldn't hurt me. Because I use my kettlebell is about 10 pounds, and my my barbell is 15, I think, between 15 and 20. And then it says muscle becomes an accelerant. So it says sit-up alternatives. Focus on sit-up alternatives. Chair squats, like sitting down, standing up. If you can't do it without sit in a chair, get yourself up, even if you have to use the arms. Wall push-ups are good, and resistance bands. I use those, and I have my dumbbell weights and step-ups. I don't do step, but I should get one. But I walk, and I use my bike if I can't walk. And it says keep up your walking. I do have a weighted vest. The last week I forget. I get going and I forget to put it on. So maybe I'll try and remember that. Okay. And it says what you should watch for next week. Your weight should drop 2 to 5 pounds. Your extracellular water drops, and body fat stabilizes and lowers. Then this was water. Well, I know it's water. And if not, talk to your clinician or your medical professional. My overall score on this was fat loss A minus, muscle preservation A, hydration B, recovery B minus, and metabolism adaptation B. Overall A minus progress with your 119 plus pound weight loss at age 62. So I'm happy with that. Now we're gonna switch over to what it says about my the blood work. Okay, I'll return. Yeah, so now we're going to go over my blood work. I also put that into ChatGPT, and these slides will go along with how I'm talking about or what I'm saying. Okay, so blood sugars, excellent. My glucose was 87 fasting, and 74 to 106 is normal. So it was excellent. And that means that my fasting blood sugar is a very healthy range. I have never, well, I can't say never. With my last child, I had to go through more and more tests about, I was getting close to gestational diabetes. So, and my mother was diagnosed when she had me, or when she was pregnant with me, and it never went away. So she had it from age 30. 30? Yeah. She was born in 33 and I was born in 63. So she was 30 when I was born. And she contracted, of course, I mean, she comes from a long history of diabetes on her side, but she got it and it never went away. And so my sisters have it. I have one that is on, quite a bit of medication for it. I have niece that has it, nephews that have it. I have my brothers are pre-diabetic. Yeah, there's 7 of us, and 6 of us are either diabetic or pre-diabetic, and I figured that was next. I mean, I was surprised when my younger sister, which is the youngest of the family, because I'm second to the youngest, when she was diagnosed with diabetes. And so my oldest sister is 14 years older than me, and myself. We're the healthiest ones out of the 7. Not that they're not too bad. We have one sister that she had a lot of issues: breast cancer twice, diabetes early. She was born with asthma, but kind of grew out of that. But it seems like she was the one that got everything pretty much. But no. So, kidney function is my BUN is 17, which is a high end of normal. But that can happen, it says, with dehydration, high protein intake, recent travel, and not drinking enough fluids. My creatinine was 0.8, which normal is 0.5 to 1, which is excellent. This one is the best markers for actual kidney filtration. So it appears that your kidneys are filtering well. My EGFR, it's normal. It's a little low, they say. It's mildly decreased. My age, muscle mass, hydration status, and temporary fluid shifts can interfere with that. Because your creatinine is excellent at 0.8, this often reflects this. So I'm not seeing kidney disease from this panel alone. I'd mainly watch trends over time. If your GFR used to be 80 to 90, which it hasn't, it's been in the 70s. And my doctor has, I'd have to look at the trends on my chart, but my doctor's never worried about any of that. So, and sodium is 139, which is excellent. Potassium is 4.4, which is excellent. Fluoride, 105, excellent. CO2, excellent. Annual gap, 10.4, excellent. This means there's no acid-base imbalance, no dehydration severe enough to disturb your electrolytes, and no concerning metabolic stress showing here. So my overall was very good. Liver function is the AST is 27 and the ALT is 30. The alkaline phosphorus is 107. Bilirubin is 0.7. All normal. This is excellent, especially after major weight loss. And the GLP1 medication, travel, possibly fatty liver history. Many people with obesity have, but I never was diagnosed with any of that. Protein is 16 or 6.7. That's normal. Albumin is 3.9. Normal. This tells ChatGPT that the nutrition status looks adequate. No obvious protein deficiency, and no major fluid dilution issue showing up here. Interesting, because your Hume scale scan showed extracellular water evaluation. Your labs don't suggest severe fluid overload. No, it's not severe. It's only a pound or 2. That's not bad. But I mean, I'm not swollen. My fingers and my ankles are a little swollen. Calcium is 9.1, which is perfect. And ChatGPT interprets that in context of your journey, given the 119-pound weight loss, my age of 62, GLP1 use, 3 weeks on this road trip, previous Hume showing extracellular water, it suggests that you likely have some extra travel-related food, but your kidneys, liver, and electrolytes are handling it well. This is only a mild flag. So like I said, the EGFR is 73, which is a little bit lower than it should be, but I'm going to have to look back and see when I'm editing this video, I will try and find that, the trend and take a snapshot of it. What I'm going to focus on this week, hydration. I am going to try and get water. But like I said, I've got some flavoring, so I'm going to put some flavoring in it. And movement, walking. And it says calf pumping and light resistance. So, and I already did the light resistance. I used the bands and my weights. Protein, 90 to 100 grams a day, 110 grams a day. I will be asking her about that on Monday when I have my doctor's appointment. And that is pretty much it. Yeah, that was quite a deep dive into this. But all in all, like I said, I got a pretty good score. Blood work is good. I'm sure my doctor's going to be very pleased with it. It's even better than last time, and she was pleased with that. So, plus last time I weighed 200 pounds, like 200.4 pounds. So I should be, when I go now, I should be at least 30 to 34 pounds less. So I'm sure she'll be pleased with that. And that is in the past 6 months. So that is it for our deep dive into my medical records, my lab work, and my human body pod results. So what I'm going to be changing, like I said, this week, I'm going to focus on my protein, movement, and hydration. And hopefully that will pay off by next week, Wednesday, when I weigh in. I will be below what I was when I left, which was 166.4. So I'm hoping to be 165, in the 165 anyway. So thank you for coming back, and thank you for being here and watching. And as always, be kind to one another. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.